Learning goal number 33, volumes of prisms and cylinders. Okay, so learning goal number 33, volume of prisms and cylinders. Okay, volume, first of all, is the amount of space inside a solid. Okay, it's the amount of space that can fit in something. It's the amount of space that can fit in something. So this is going to be in cubic units because it's three-dimensional. So inches cubed, feet cubed, yards cubed, meters cubed. They're going to be cubic units because it's going to represent a space inside of something. For example, there is an amount of space inside of this cup. The amount of liquid that can fit in this cup would be represented by the volume of this cup. Okay? So we're going to be talking about two types of volumes today. Prisms and cylinders. Now, we've talked about prisms before because they're polyhedrons. Right? A polyhedron is made up of polygons. Flat, enclosed surfaces. Right? No curves. A cylinder is not a polyhedron. It's not a polyhedron. It has circles. Right? But these two shapes are sort of the same if you look at them. They both have two bases that are parallel from each other and they're congruent. So this is a triangular prism with a triangle on top, triangle on the bottom, and they're congruent. And this is a cylinder, has a circle on the top, circle on the bottom, and those circles are congruent. They're exactly the same size. All right? Now, the volume formula for each one of these is exactly the same. Volume equals B times H. Now, we got to understand what B is. For both of these, B is the area of the base. That's very important because most people go, oh, B, that's the base. No. B is the area of the base. H is the height of the solid. So that's very important. Circle that, star that, make sure you understand that. B is the area of the base, so it's how much space there is here on the base. And then H is the height of the solid. So you got to figure out the area of the base. So in this case, it's a triangle. You'd have to find the area of the triangle, multiply that by the height of the solid. Over here, the base is a circle. You'd have to find the area of a base. So pi r squared, and then you have to multiply that by the height of the solid. Okay, so very important, volume is the amount of space inside a solid, inside of a figure. And it's going to be cubic units because it's a three-dimensional measurement. It's how much space is taken up three-dimensionally. To find the volume of a prism or a cylinder, you take the area of the base and multiply it by the height of that solid. First example problem here, we have a triangular prism. Right? Notice that this is not sitting on its base. The bases are the two triangles that are parallel from each other and congruent. Okay? This is not sitting on its base. Very good. So, if I want to find the volume of it, I'm going to find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. But to be able to do that, to be able to use this formula, I got to first figure out what the area of the base is. Let me just redraw the base here. Okay, the base is this triangle that is 6 centimeters on its base and 3 centimeters at its height. So, take a look at this triangle here. We have to find the area of this. We've worked with area before. To find the area of a triangle, we take 1/2 base times height. Okay, so 1/2 times the base is 6 centimeters. The height is 3 centimeters. 1/2 times the base, 6 times the height, 3. 1/2 times 6 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9 centimeters squared. That is the area of the base. Right there. That's what we just found. We need that to find the volume. I needed to do this work prior to finding the volume because I need this number 9. What I need to do now is go over here and use this formula. Volume of a prism is equal to the area of the base times the height of the solid. Now the area of the base, we just figured out, was 9. The height of this solid, remember, this prism is not sitting on its base. It's laying down. The height of a solid is the distance between its two bases. These two bases are 10 centimeters apart. So your height is 10 centimeters. Area of the base was 9. Height is 10. 9 times 10, 90 centimeters cubed. 90 centimeters cubed. There's your volume of this triangular prism. Now let's understand this. Why is it centimeters cubed? Well, if you look at the dimensions of this, as we multiply through, the 9 was actually 9 centimeters squared because it was already an area. And then we took 9 centimeters squared and multiplied it by 10 centimeters squared. Or sorry, no, not squared, 10 centimeters, which was the height of the solid, which was one-dimensional. So we have centimeters squared times centimeters. We have centimeters times centimeters times centimeters. That is how we end up with centimeters cubed. You're taking centimeters and multiplying it by itself 3 times. Okay, if that makes sense to you. Again, volume of a prism, area of the base times the height. Okay, last example we're going to talk about here today. Here we have a cylinder, right? A cylinder. To find the area of a cylinder, I take the area of the base times the height, just like a prism. So prisms and cylinders are a lot alike because they got 2 congruent bases, top and bottom. You find their volumes exactly the same. Find the area of their bases, and then you multiply it by the height. Now the base in this case is this circle up top and on the bottom. And if I redraw that circle from a better perspective, what I know about that circle is that it has a diameter of 10 centimeters. Okay, so if it has a diameter of 10 centimeters, means it has a radius of 5 centimeters. I want to find the area of a circle. Got to find the area of the base, right here. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So I'm going to take pi, which is 3.14. I'm going to multiply that by r squared. R in this case is going to be half the diameter. It's going to be 5. So I'm going to take 3.14 times 5 times 5. And I get 78.5 centimeters squared. This right here is the area of the base of this cylinder, which is going to be my B right here in the formula. So now what I need to do is take this formula, I'll rewrite it over here just so you can easily see it. I found the area of the base. That's my large B, is my capital B. It was 78.5 centimeters squared. I'm going to multiply that by the height. In this case, the cylinder is not laying on its side, it's sitting on its base, which is the circle. The height, or the distance between these two circles, top and bottom, is 12 centimeters. So I'll take 78.5, I'll multiply that by 12. I get 942 centimeters cubed. And that's how I find the volume of a cylinder.